Hey, folks, hope everybody's doing well. Happy Saturday night. This is my monthly get together hangout. I may do a couple this month because I actually have a few weekends off, which is really cool, but I'll talk about that in a minute. Just say hello to a few people that have popped in. Got Ken White. Welcome to the channel. Nice to see you. Steve Auger, how are you? Dwight Bailey, how's it going? There's Paul Lou. There's Brian S. Papa Blue, how's it going, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Man, it's a really shitty day out here today. It's like overcast and rainy. It's just been so far, it's been a real up and down weather-wise here. It's like it's summer kind of starts and stalls, and then it gets cool in the evenings. And I'm a cigar smoker. I like to smoke. I look forward to the warmer months because I get to sit outside and have a cigar. But I'm finding that I'm having to do that wearing a freaking hoodie and a toque, which is a knit cap for you American folks. And yeah, it's been pretty miserable. 92 and sunny. Yeah, rub it in, Brian. Why don't you? Russ Markart, how are you? Yeah, good day for music. Definitely good day for music when it's shitty outside. Yeah, I was in here for a while today, actually. Which a couple of things I want to talk about today. I want to talk about some gear issues and things, and not everybody in here is a guitar player, so I'm not going to bore you all with gear nerdy stuff. But not summer in Newmarket, really. I heard it was sunny and warm in Newmarket. I'm just kidding. Hey, Mr. Rock, how are you? Um, yeah, I don't want to bore everybody with a lot of gear talk. I want to talk a little bit about um, my recommend an album to review series and address some of the comments that I've been getting on that. And did another episode of that this week. I was given an album to review, which is a real popular record. Didn't Should have been bigger than it was. The record I reviewed on the last episode was Dogman by King's X. So go and check that show out. Papa Blue likes guitar nerdy stuff. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So anybody's got comments, questions, throw them in. There's really no format here. It's just my monthly hangout, and just shoot the shit and talk to you guys one on one. And thank you for subscribing and being here and supporting the channel and all that good stuff. I'll tell you though, man, it's a real nice to be home on a Saturday night. I know that it doesn't sound good, but man, we were on a tear. We were like, for those of you that don't know, I play in a the Brits call it a function band. Basically, it's a bar band, and we play a lot around the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area. And we just did a tear of like 6 weekends in a row of gigs. So last couple of them were outdoor. We did a Rib Fest, and then we did a Blues and Jazz Festival last weekend. And man, it just, it's a fun thing to do. But when you do it week in, week out, it turns into a job, and it just isn't fun anymore. And it doesn't matter, like even if it's a good turnout and the crowds are great and all that, it just really gets to be a bit of a grind. So I'm on a break now of about 3 weeks, and I'm actually looking forward to not having a gig for 3 weeks. And of course, after 3 weeks, I'll be chomping on the bit to be out there again. But it's nice to have a break. Back in the early 90s, when I was really into it, I was doing. I would have maybe 2 weeks in the whole year off, and I was doing 2, 3, and 4 nighters for every weekend. But back then I was in my 20s, and now I'm in my 50s. So, and back then it was seemed like a job, and I don't want it to get to that point again. But was a lot of gigging back when I was younger, but a little bit longer in the tooth these days. Let me just say hello to a few more people that popped in here. Edwin Crane, nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Try and wipe the camera lens a bit. I suspect there is some fog. Anybody getting a bad picture? There are many great instruments, but could you imagine no guitar? Man, unthinkable. Yeah, I can need to show some live shows. I used to do that, Papa Blue. I used to stream live shows, but it got frowned upon, so I don't do that anymore. But I've got a whole playlist of live stuff from various bands. If you want to go and check that out, there's lots of videos, and I think I've got a fair bit of rehearsal stuff in there too. Uh, Something is smeared on the lens, really. My lens here looks fine. Is that better? Let me know if that's any better. Let me know if that looks a little better, folks. Fog, yep. Dan in New Jersey, how are you? Nice to see you. That's Gib? Okay, cool. That's weird. I know, I don't see it. On my screen, it looks clear. But anyway, as long as you guys are looking better out there. But yeah, so got a nice break, and I've been messing with some gear. I've whenever I do these things, I generally bring this out and try to play a little bit, and I've never been real happy with the tone. When I listen back to the videos, the tone's always been kind of crappy. I'm going to talk about that actually, Daniel. Thanks for bringing that up. And I've got a bias effects, which is like total software, and I've been trying to dial in a good tone with that, and I used that I think the last live show, and that still sounded like shit. So I was looking for something that was kind of something digital, kind of in a box tone that I could plug right into my interface and sound half decent. And started off with the Tone X pedal. That serves a pretty guitar. Yeah, this is the one you guys like to make fun of, Brian. This is my RO. Hey, Greg Vanzini, how are you? Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about that, Paul, and then I'll get to the Black Sabbath thing. So, so I had a Tone X, and man, everybody and their nephews talking about these things, and they're the greatest thing. Hey, Dan, how are you? Greatest thing since sliced bread. But again, without getting too nerdy, the Tone X pedal is basically like a little metal pedal, something you could put on your pedal board, and you can program two different sounds on it. And basically, you pick from a menu of sounds that are already created in their software. You can tweak it a little bit. You can't create anything from scratch. You can only edit what's there, which is one of the strikes against it for me. And the other strike is the fact that if I want to change those sounds to two other sounds, I have to plug it into the computer. So you always got to be messing with the software. And I just got, you know what, this is just, you spend 2.5 hours getting a sound and like 2 minutes playing. And it's like, that's not what this should be about. So I took it back, and then I have this, which I'm very, very happy with. This is the Line 6 Pod Express. I call it the Ghetto Helix because this is the cheapest Line 6 product I think they make. In Canada, this is still over $200. In the States, I think they're like $175 or something. And it's all the sounds, everything is right on here. You can create sounds from scratch. You got 7 different amps, 7 different cabs. You've got all kinds of effects, overdrives and distortions and choruses, and flangers, phasers, 4 kinds of or 5. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kinds of reverbs and all kinds of stuff. And you can create. They give you some presets. You don't have to use them. You can edit them and you can save them right on there. So I basically programmed about 5, 6 sounds here that I really, really dig. So this is one of them. Okay, let me welcome Great Vanzini. How are you? Nice to see you, man. Pete Brown, how you doing? Yeah, that's right, Brian. Ghetto Tone. That's right. Ghetto Tone. So yeah, so this thing's really, really cool. I'm gonna do a video eventually, and I'm gonna call it why I returned my Tone X1 for this, and that'll probably piss off a lot of people, but hey, that's probably what I'm gonna do. And Hack knows the. I guess I don't, Ken. I guess I don't. Um, so talking about um, getting back to the Black Sabbath thing. So they finally released a box set featuring the Tony Martin records. Um, like all but one. Eternal Idol is not on there, but Headless Cross. What is it? Headless Cross, Tear or Tire, whatever you call it. Forbidden. There's one more in there. Somebody help me. And they put them out, which is nice because the Tony Martin era of Sabbath doesn't get a lot of love. Cross purposes. Thank you, Daniel. And there's some really good stuff there. I mean, for me, it's not their best period, but there's still a lot of diamonds in that rough. And there's some pretty good material there. What surprised me the most, okay, improvement in that whole package for me, the big thing was when I listened to the remix of Forbidden, because that is an album that really didn't get any love. But if you listen to that record now with the new mix, that's actually a pretty good Sabbath record. So that for me was sort of the highlight. Now, I didn't buy it, and I don't plan on buying it, okay? But I did listen to all of them again. I'm actually going through a Sabbath thing now. I'm listening to every album in reverse order because I got a Sabbath show coming up. That's the next show I'm going to be doing with Pete and Martin. We're going to be doing another Sabbath show, what's part of the reason why. Plus, I love listening to Sabbath anyway. But listening to Forbidden now, it's if you haven't listened to that remaster, whether you buy the thing or not, it's all over YouTube and all the streaming services. Go listen to that because it is not a bad record at all. Do you know any company that builds guitars, amps that also built home stereo amps? Builds guitar and amps. I know Marshall's making headsets, headphones, but no. No, I don't think I do. Oh, wait, Yamaha. Is Yamaha? I know Yamaha makes guitars. Do they make stereos, or did they used to make stereos? Not sure. Great Vanzini, the Tone X would drive you goofy, my friend. You're going to spend more time navigating menus, and it's just a pain in the ass. This little thing here, you can learn how to use in about 15 minutes. I've ever owned Anasound Savage made in France. I'm enthralled. Saw it on Chapman's channel. Another drive pedal. Um, I think I've finally settled the best drive pedal for me, like for the heavier drive, um, that hasn't topped it yet. And I've got a pretty big pedal board. I've got like 11 pedals on there or something. My main board, and the pedal, my main drive pedal is the Friedman small box. That absolutely smokes any drive pedal that I own, like heavy drive. And for me, the best light drive pedal is the Wampler Euphoria. Those that one and two, because my pedal board is constantly evolving. I mean, I'm finding pedals and then I'm swapping things out. I mean, it's constantly evolving. I've just sold a bunch of pedals a few months ago because I just keep buying pedals and just you keep reinventing the wheel, so to speak. But I've had those pedals on there now probably for maybe the last year or two, and done a lot of gigs with them, and they just work. Those two drive pedals just really, really sound good. My go-to is still my Line 6 Pod Go. Works well for my use. Well, that's really what this is, Pete. This is like the updated version of that. That's really what it is. Klon circuit, but it's not a Klon. Does a Billy Gibbons thing. Yeah, thanks, Pete. Yeah, well, we're going to be, um, I don't want to totally give it away, but we're going to be doing a real deep dive on a specific Sabbath record. And if you've seen any shows that I've done on Sabbath, you probably know which record that is because it's my favorite of all the Sabbath records. There's William De Silva. How are you, man? Nice to see you. Yamaha stereo and amps. There you go. Yeah, Brian, when you got to spend more time on software than you actually do playing guitar, there's something wrong with that picture. There's Nelson. Nice to see you. Hey, John Z351. How are you, man? Hope everything is good. Line 6 from they had two. Yeah, they these things actually both this and I'm in Canada, Vanzini, but both of these things sold out like that. Um, but there's a bunch of them coming out this month, so if you really want one, I mean they're really inexpensive. I mean, for what you get, like it's pretty killer. That's why I call it the ghetto Helix. Yeah, down in New Jersey, the Euphoria. Yeah, it's and I didn't like I got that pedal. I got it used. Actually, I bought that off of my brother. Um, it's got like three different gain circuit, the overdrive circuits in it, and you can tweak those. But for me, it's always toggle switch up on the smooth. Um, bass, the bass. That a lot of people think the bass is actually bass, but the bass on that pedal actually should be off. When if you want some fuzz tone, then you turn the bass up. It's kind of weird the EQ on that, but if you keep the bass down to zero, and you can get just a really nice kind of not a heavy gain. I mean, you could get heavier gains on it, and you could, like I said, get fuzz tones. I did a video demo of this when I got the Euphoria a while back, but for me, I just use it for a really nice crunch. Just sort of like like I use it for songs like Jesse's Girl, Rock and Roll All Night, just that sort of 70s crunchy Marshall sound. That's what I use it for. Songs like, I'm trying to think, what other songs do I use it for? I'm thinking of like Live. What do I use it for? I Want You to Want Me, Cheap Trick, just that kind of thing where, just got a little bit of drive, but it's not, you know, really heavy. And it's I can't say enough about it. if you can get your hands on a used one, that Euphoria pedal just is incredible. Got to be born again. Born again, my favorite Sabbath record. Brian, yes, it's a Dio record. Come on, come on. Everybody knows Dio was the best singer Sabbath ever had. Yes, I said it out loud. Hey, Mitch. Nice to see you. Sabbath never made a completely bad album, in my opinion. Even the lesser ones, there are good. I agree with you, Daniel. There's not one Sabbath record that is a complete dog, right? There's obviously stronger ones and weaker ones, but there's no one record that you can say this is, every song on here is crap. I mean, like I said, I've been going through the catalog. I started at the most recent, which is 13, and worked my way back. And I mean, there's good stuff on tier or tire, however you want to TYR, however you want to pronounce it. There's good stuff on that. Like I just mentioned, listen to Forbidden, the new remaster. It's not a bad album, man. Seventh Star when it was just Tony by himself. Got Glenn Hughes singing. Some good tracks on that. There's actually a couple of really good, strong songs on that. Yeah, they don't have any total dogs. I totally agree with that. Just got home from my daughter's graduation. Oh, congratulations, William. And congratulations to your daughter. That's awesome. Last one till my son graduates from college. Oh, very good. That's great news, William. Paul Louvre, Euphoria is on my board too. So you know the secrets of the Euphoria pedal, Paul. Yeah, it's really good, man. Well, I'll tell you, Brian, those LPD pedals have been off my board for the last 2 years. What's replaced them? The Euphoria, the small box pedal, and on the smaller board, what am I using? I'm using a Dirty Shirley for the heavier drive, which is very similar to a small box. They're kind of in the same ballpark. And then I'm using a Wampler Triumph pedal as my lighter overdrive on my second. And yeah, man, those pedals have not, they're both off my board. The Eric Burden band Sun Secrets is an album you should check out, Hack. Dan, put that in if you don't mind the comments for the last recommended album to review. So that's actually brings up another point. So a couple of comments that I got it from two different people on the last recommended album to review, because I mentioned on that video that um, it's only worth doing if there's 100, at least 100 viewers. Otherwise, I'd rather be sitting outside, being summer and all. But people saying, oh, why don't you include the name of the record on the, in the title or on the thumbnail? Well, there's a reason for that. Okay, the whole point of recommend an album to review, um, it'd be like, um, is sort of the surprise of it, if you will. Like, check it out to see what that record is, because the record is going to be always something that's been recommended, right? So it's like, opening up the what's the Cracker Jack and getting the prize. Oh, it's my record this time that's being reviewed, whatever, right? So I want to keep that little bit of you know, I don't know, not secrecy, but surprise to it, right? So that's why I do it the way I do it. And I usually, announce or mention the band within the first minute of the video. So if it's a band that you're not, the other part of it too is I'd like, to turn people on to new music. And sometimes, like if I put the name of the band out there, people are going to not watch the video because, oh, I don't like that band. But, if you listen to me talk about a band that maybe you weren't interested in or didn't grab you, maybe, that might get you into listening to some new music. Because a part of that, the whole part of that video is for me to listen to stuff that I don't normally listen to. Although I just did King's X and I knew that album quite well, which is fine. I haven't talked about it on the channel, but also to turn get myself listening to stuff that I haven't heard before, and hopefully get you guys listening to new music, because I'm always interested in finding new stuff to check out. How is it possible Ozzy outlived Ronnie? Yeah, I know, eh? That's crazy. Oh, Great Vanzini just bought a ghetto Helix. Congratulations. Oh, man. Soul might have the members of the Cascade. Yeah, he makes good stuff. I just found better stuff, Brian. Do the mystery title for a week or two, then change it. It seems like a lot of work, Brian. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Friedman stuff, for sure. So I'm just going to quickly go through. See, these are some of the sounds that I just dialed in, just this afternoon, right? So this is just like a nice heavy kind of overdriven Marshall sound. Then I got this sound that is a little obnoxious. It's not my style, but it's like basically the kitchen sink, and it's this sound here. If you wanted to do Van Halen. Stuff like that. That kind of tone, right? And then I got this, which is kind of a overdriven Vox sound. Now I'm going to play just a bit of this because I always get a copyright strike when I play these guys. But right? Just a little bit of stuff like that. Right. Then I got this. Totally clean sound. bad sound to go to, but here's another heavy sound, kind of fuzzy. So those are just some quick ones that I just came up with this afternoon. It's really easy, man. You know, you can pick different pick an amp, go through a bunch of different cabs. If you don't like the cab that it comes with, you got 7 other cabs to choose from. You got 7 different amps, all combinations of those, and then you can throw things in front of it, boost, you know, there's a Klon, they call it a Klon style, overdrive, distortion, fuzz, all kinds of shit you can do. It's really good. It's fun. You spend more time playing and less time, you know, on the computer. Def Leppard, AC/DC. Yeah, you can dial in those. Hey Dan, that's did you like the hair metal band Firehouse? Asked Dan. Nah, not so much. Just getting caught up here. Do you know what happened to Bent Tom? No, I haven't heard anything about Bent Tom in a long time. Pablo, I have no idea. Oh, Steve liked the sounds. Sounds good. Cool. Guitar sounds good. It's blasting through my Bose computer speaker, shaking the house. Sorry about that. Yeah, the White Snake sound. Yeah, the really heavy processed. Yeah. I'm going to talk about your guitars. Yes. I got a little touch, Dan, of course, on some of them. I got a little touch of, not flanger, but a little, just a touch of phaser on some of them as well. The first setting. That's the first setting right there. You know, there you go. Cushman, New York City, how you doing? Did you ever see? Oh yeah, Might Get Loud. Yeah. Jimmy Page. Uh, the Edge and the White Stripes guy. Why am I why am I forgetting his name? Yeah, I saw that. I think it was just those three guys, right? Oh, William De Silva spotted Tom. There you go. Yeah, the possibilities are pretty endless, Dan. Yeah. And then you can store, if you find something you like, you can store it. You've got literally 21 sounds that you can store. I've only got, again, I only got this week, and I've only spent maybe 2 hours on it. And I've stored like 5, 6 different sounds so far. But I like creating things from scratch, you know? You pick your amp, and then when you pick your amp, you can actually set your amp up. You know, you could set your gain, your bass, treble, like your EQ, like you're setting up your amp to create a bass tone, right? Then once you've got that down, then if you want, you can that amp will come with a cab. If you don't like that cab, you can cycle through 7 different cabs to see which one you like the best with that amp. Then you got that locked down. Then you can say, okay, well, what would it sound like with a boost in front of it, or a distortion, or an overdrive, or a fuzz? Maybe I want to add some modulation, flanger, phaser, chorus. What else? Tremolo, even. You know, what kind of reverb? You know, do I want hall, spring, plate? You know, or like ambient reverb? What kind of delay do I want? Analog. What is it? Analog, digital, tape, and then there's like like the stereo pong thing they call it. If you want, because you can, take this stereo out. It's just a lot of crazy shit you can do with this. Mark's Gas Station, welcome to the channel. My Black Wolfie, it's a great guitar. The Leopard didn't keep. Yeah, Pete Willis. Yeah. Well, that's my favorite Leopard record. I think most people's favorite Leopard record is High and Dry, right? Jack White, thank you, Daniel. Um, right, yeah, I'm going. I'm not using an amp at all. I'm basically going right into this thing, and this thing is going into my Scarlett and into the computer. That's it. Can you play an exact Ed? Well, the only song that we used to do Vertigo. That's the only U2 song that I know. But yeah, I don't know. The thing is, if you're gonna play like this stuff with all the heavy delays, I think you need a little more. Um, you're gonna have to have a little more tweakability in your delays to totally mimic what he's doing. Because a lot of the times he's not using a single delay; he's using a couple of them, right? And they're on different repeats and decays and speeds and all that kind of thing. So, but the one thing though, I will say as a negative of this, like the way I'm using this is perfect, right? Because I'm sitting here, I'm tapping it with my fingers. There's a couple of, you know, buttons here, obviously, right, and things, and I'm just using my hands, and it's sitting right here. And for this functionality, it works great. You want to practice at home. You want to dial up some sounds. You don't want to have to, because I used to always have to go through my Friedman DI into the thing and pedals and whatever. This is just you plug straight into this into the computer. You can do home recording with it. You got a whole bunch of sounds available to you. It's great. The downside of this is if I was to say, you know what, I dial up some really good tones, I'm going to use this at a gig. This is just plastic, eh? If I took this to a gig, it would be smashed within an hour, right? Because everything it being plastic, I know I would crack this thing in an hour easily, right? Because when you're playing a show, I don't have those fancy gig rig things where I hit one button and 10 things turn on. I'm literally up there tap dancing, right? So I'm turning stuff on and off. A lot of times the lighting in the place isn't that great, so like I might slip before I hit the pedal and whatever. Point is, my feet are bashing on pedals on and off consistently throughout the night. This in that under those circumstances, this would be smashed up within an hour. So, I mean, it's not going to fall apart or anything, home use, but I would not take this out. I would not take this out. Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. Hey, Janice, nice to see you. Yeah, Pete Willis. Whatever happened to Pete Willis? I don't know what happened to him. If he ended up in another band or what. You guys are talking guitar purchases. Yeah, I'm definitely not buying. Here I'm saying it. I am definitely not in guitar buying mode. If anything, I am in guitar selling mode. Dark Wizard, how are you? Give me a name of the price is good. Yeah, the cheapest. I don't know if it's still the cheapest, but I have one. Actually, I did an outdoor blues and jazz festival with it just last week. Outdoor gig. You don't want to take something like this. You want to take something cheap, but still plays great and still sounds great. The tributes, man. I took Les Paul Studio. No, Les Paul. What's it called? It's got P90s on it. I don't have it here to show you. Basically, two P90s on a slab of wood, but it's a tribute. So it's like a tribute special tribute. The P90 one. Two P90s wraparound tailpiece. Um, yeah, like just a slab of wood, no gloss paint, just flat, like satin, whatever you want to call it. The neck is all maple. Cheapest Gibson they made at the time. I've gigged that song. I've gigged that thing so many times outside the outdoor gigs where like I don't want to take anything really nice. Thing plays great, stays in tune. Got nothing bad to say about that guitar. Willis is in two other bands, Gog Magog and Roadhouse. Okay, I haven't heard either one of those. Yep, Fast Way. Pete Way and Fast Eddie Clark. Okay. Janice, this is a Pod Express, Line 6 Pod Express. This is like their updated version of the Pod. And it's really inexpensive and it's got a lot of really great sounds on it. The Fastway EP, the Fast I the album that has that song, and then there's another song on really good song on that record called Heft. It was a full album. It wasn't an EP. I didn't know they had an EP, Dan. Really want a special with 1P90? Yeah. 180 bucks for this at Sweetwater. There you go. They originally put out a 3-track EP, Easy Living, Say What You Will. Say What You Will. That's the... Yeah, I've never heard that EP, Dan. I've only heard that, like, the first record. My band should do that? Nah. We're doing... We're doing that. That's the only ZZ Top we're doing. Have you been always grateful that your folks named you guitar? Oh, that's funny, Dan. That's a hard one to play. Drummer Hack doesn't have the same ring to it. Rock Bottom's a great riff, man. Love me some Shanker. Janice is playing some covers. Very cool. Okay, still talking about Def Leppard. It's the only song I like on that album. What? What? Come on. Here, I got a sound here that's... Not that one. Okay, Dan. Uh, yeah, John Elias has some good moments, but some makes you wonder what happened. About 3 weeks. Splon. Oh, the Splon, the amp. Yeah, never got it. Yeah, you think you asked me about that the other day, William? I've never had a chance to try one of those. Never seen one actually. No, I don't watch any of that stuff, Dan. Or like, here's a drum teacher watching Neil Peart. Like, yeah, whatever. That stuff doesn't interest me. All right, later, Janice. Thanks for popping in. How do I rate the band Zebra? Um, I haven't really listened to a lot of Zebra. That'd be a good record to review if somebody wanted to suggest a Zebra record. I have heard some of it. I watched the concert actually. Now I'm thinking about it. A YouTube concert, like the super talented guys. I mean, it's a 3-piece band, right? And guitar player is sick. Then you got the bass player who also played keyboards, and then the drummer. Really good, really talented. Vocals are great. I mean, the guy can sing super high. I always thought they were a good band. Like, again, one of those bands that really never broke through, at least in Canada. Like, nobody, Zebra got no airplay up here. But they're a great band. Yeah, underrated. Yes, exactly, Tyler. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be copyright issues, right? If you did that reacting stuff. What, some of those Bob Dylan's. I just learned this today. I know it's an old riff, but we'll try it again. Yeah, so like again, you can just go through all kinds of different really heavy metal sounds if you want. That's Escape, one of my originals. Check out my original songs playlist. Also, any streaming service, they're all there. So get caught up here on the chat. You guys are talking about Zebra. Yeah, Killer Records, yeah. Loudness. Yeah, never got into that band. Never got into Loudness. James Gang. Funk 49. How's that go again? Yeah, I think that's the riff. Classical composer, metal prog. Yeah, there's a classical guy that does it too. Through a Japanese blender. Yeah, they got the Loudness. The guy had his like signature guitar with this really ugly headstock on it, and I think it was a signature guitar or it was a guitar that he was famous for playing. But yeah, never really grabbed me. Yeah. So coming up on the channel, we got in about 2 weeks, we're doing a show with another Martin and Pete show with myself, and the focus is going to be Black Sabbath. We're going to do a deep dive on what's my favorite. I don't know if it's their favorite. Well, I know it's not their favorite, but it's my favorite Sabbath record. We're going to do a deep dive on that. So stay tuned for that. Recommend an album to review. I just did one this past Thursday. I've got a lot of requests for a lot of different bands. Folks are kind enough to put in lots of suggestions. So I'll be doing a one of those this coming Thursday. I'm still trying to narrow down what. Right now, it's between two albums. Like I've got like sometimes I don't get a lot, but I got a lot of requests. I don't know, like 8 or 9, and usually when I get them, like I'll listen to them. And the thing is, I got to be able to at least somewhat be able to get through the record, or somewhat enjoy the record, because I do have to listen to it a few times. Some of the recommendations, you might think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, I might have records I think are great, and you're like, listen to it, like, I can't listen to a whole record of this. There's some of that, right? I do want to be honest and fair about, what I say about the albums, and the only way to do that is you got to sit there and you got to listen to them, and you know, have something about them that kind of pulls you in, right? So there's, but I think I got it narrowed down about, well, two, maybe three. There's another one that's really crazy good, but anyways, um, we'll see. But I will do one and have one ready for you this Thursday. Usually they air Thursday at 7 o'clock. Let me know if anybody's got any last minute questions about this. By the way, all the tones you've been listening to, ignore the shitty guitar playing. Um, but the good tones are coming from the Line 6 Pod Express. In the U.S., these things go for about $180. If you're deciding between the Tonex and this, Tonex 1, I would definitely go with this. I'm going to probably shoot a video on this upcoming here whenever I get. If there's more shitty weather outside, I'll be stuck indoors. I'll probably make a video on this thing too. And just do a quick demo. Not so much a demo how it works, because everybody does that, but maybe the reasons why this might be a good fit for some folks. Okay, let's see if anybody's got any last minute questions. A surprise live wires. William De Silva, the live wires involve 3 people, and one of them is busier than a I don't know. I can't think of an analogy right now. And the other one is semi-retired and enjoying his the weather in Florida. So I don't think they or me are up to it at the moment. All right. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, and most of you guys already recognize these names, you're not. But if you are new, hit the subscribe. Please hit the like on the way out. Yeah, man, check out my original music. Um, there's a playlist of original songs. If you've got Apple Music, iTunes, anything like that, type in Guitar Hack. I've got something in the neighborhood of probably around 30 original songs. Lots of instrumentals, all kind of different styles, some heavy rock stuff, some blues rock stuff. There's some, there's some vocal songs on there too, some poppy stuff. Go check that out. That would be very much appreciated. Yeah, Dave is super busy. Yeah. No, I get it, William. I appreciate that. I appreciate the love for the live wires. Yeah, and I think Brian does as well. Okay, I don't see any last minute. Oh, Alan just pops in. Alan, buddy, we're just wrapping up here. Hack probably. Oh, July 4th, you're going to do a show? Two of you guys are right here. That is true, William. All right, folks. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. And we'll catch you guys on the next recommended album to review this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. All right. Thanks for hanging out. Cheers.